marginal product here. Do you see something here? Are you noticing something? Right? The marginal product is decreasing, right? Although our total output is increasing when you employ more workers. See, when you employ one worker, output is 50. When you employ second worker, output is 90. 3 worker output is 120. 4 worker output is 140. Similarly, 6 worker output is 155. So total output is increased. But when you see the marginal product here, marginal product is decreasing. So that property in which we talk about that in which we talk about that our output is increasing but at slower rate. We call that property diminishing marginal product. So here is our class activity 1, in which I just want you to draw a graph. On the x-axis you just put number of workers, and on y-axis you put number of output. Okay, and draw. Pause the video and draw a graph, and at the end we match our graph on our next slide. Okay, I hope you already draw the graph. Okay, your graph would look like this. So when you draw the graph, your graph would be here. So what this graph tells you, this graph tells you many meaningful information. So if you see here, this graph basically shows the relationship between output and input. So we call this production function. So you can also see the property of diminishing marginal return. That is, if you employ one more worker, the production starts rapidly, then it starts decreasing. So when you see that here from 5 to 6, your production just added 5 units, right? It is 155, and you can say that how much the managerial implication is that how much worker do I need to employ. And if you employ one more worker, maybe the production is like this. Answer is 145. And then you can say that, oh my god, if I employ 6 workers, my production is 155. By employing one more worker, my output should increase, but it is 145, which decrease. And what is the logical reason? Because the number of employees increases, then they have to share the equipment. So that is the logical reason. When they share the equipment, then your production decreases. So I have pasted another concept checker to check that whether you understand the concept thoroughly or not. Just pause the video and try to answer this question and match the question accordingly. If your answer is C, then you are in good shape to understand this concept. Here we go. I have some grade which is the difficulty level is high. So this particular question will further strengthen your concept. So just pause the video here and try to solve it, and then we solve it together. Okay, here let's let's read out the question. That is, on a 100-acre farm, a farmer is able to produce 3,000 bushels of wheat when he hires 2 workers. So it means 2 workers, the production is 3,000. So he is able to produce 4,400 bushels of wheat when he hires 3 workers. So 3 workers, 4,400 bushels of wheat. So which of the following possibilities is consistent with the property of diminishing marginal return? So 4 workers, when you see the 4 workers, 5,600, right? Or 4 workers, let me just change the color, 4 workers, 5,800, or 4 workers, 6,000. Which one is correct? So you see here the difference is 1,400, right? The difference is 1 unit. So one extra person when employed, he will be adding 1,400 to the production. So if this question follows the diminishing marginal product, then the fourth person will be producing less than 1400. Okay, the tagline is less than 1400. So you see here the difference between 5600 and 4400 is 1200. So it means A makes sense. What about B? B, the difference between third and fourth is 1400, and here is 1600. So these can never be following the diminishing marginal product. So answer would be A. If your answer is A, then you really understand the concept and then you are in good shape. Thumbs up for you. Okay, another concept checker. I just want you to pause the video, it's fairly simple, and then match the answer accordingly. Okay, the answer is B. If you don't understand this, then please do write us in our WeChat group or Blackboard discussion forum. I will be happy to answer that. Okay, here we go. So another concept checker to further strengthen your concept. So refer to the table. What is the marginal product of the fourth worker? Right, when you added fourth worker, what is the marginal product? So I just want you to solve this question by yourself, and at the end just match the answer here. And let me just read the second one. Refer to the table. At which number of worker does diminishing marginal product begin? So just find out the difference here. Here difference is 1, so we just overlook this one. So here is 50, and here is 60, here is 70, and from 70 to here it is 80, and from 80 to here it is again 70. Then we can say that okay, from answer would be D, from fifth one, right? When you added fifth worker, the answer is that it starts decreasing, right? 1 2 3 4 5, right? And now the other concept, that is from production function to the total cost curve. So the total cost curve shows graphical relationship between output and its cost. So let's talk about the total cost concept here. So here, the various measures of the cost, that is the cost of production, may be divided into fixed cost and variable cost. What is fixed cost? Fixed costs are those costs which do not vary with the quantity of output produced. For example, cost of plant, rent of the factory, whether you produce one good, whether you produce one unit or whether you produce 1 million units, rent is the same. Rent of the factory is the same. So we call this fixed cost. What is variable cost? A variable cost are those costs that do not vary, that do vary with the quantity of output produced. For example, if you employ more workers, you pay more salaries. If you increase the production, more units are produced and more raw material will be needed. So we call this variable cost.